Okay, Ebenezer, are we ready to start? Okay. Okay, so thank you. My name is Yosef Kalinsky. I think we all know each other at this point. I don't see any new guests at this today. I am the assistant chair of the committee, and I'll be running today's meeting. As we are all jealous of our chair, Mary, who's in warmer places, I believe. The agenda, as you see, is basically we don't have a speaker today that was not worked out. The speaker will be, I'll just share this now. The speaker will be next month. We have a presentation. We'll talk about that a little bit later and the timing of that. But for today, the goal will be we'll do our regular going around, welcomes, introductions, and then to hear from the centers themselves or for anyone who has what to share in terms of anything that's happened the last month or so, any new ideas from what you're hearing on the ground, and suggestions for future presentations that we want to think about beyond April at this point, and then see where the conversations go. Okay, so I'll let my other committee members introduce themselves.
Good morning, Maria Luna, member of the this committee and the Youth Committee also, and of course, members of the board. Thank you for, I'm glad to join today's short meeting. And I'll speak a little later about an announcement. Just so.
Okay.
I'm James Bosley, a member of this committee, a member also of the Traffic and Transportation Committee, and also founder and member of Up Theater Company.
Okay, anyone else want to introduce themselves?
Sure. Hi, I'm Diane Ashley. I'm Chief Marketing Communications Officer for MJHS Health System, and I'm here representing both MJHS and Isabella Center.
Anyone else want to go next?
Hi, I'm Shirley Gutman, Director of Mariah Senior Center, and I'm on the board of WICOA.
Leah?
Miriam Rabner. I'm a culture sensitivity liaison and outreach coordinator in Manhattan and the Bronx for MJHS, the Hospice and Palliative Care Division, and I'm on the board of WICOA as well.
Ashton?
Thank you, Yosef. Good morning, everybody. Ashton Stewart. I'm the veteran liaison at MJHS.
Okay, Verna?
Good morning, everyone. Verna Arthur with NYC Agent. I'm the Government Affairs Officer for Manhattan.
Hi, Bob. It's Alana Dunner again.
Leah, do you want to introduce yourself?
Good morning, everyone. Lily Lopez, Night Connects. We connect people with any disability, any age to services and resources, and I'm the outreach specialist for Manhattan and Brooklyn. Thank you.
Okay, and Ilana's here as well. Okay, oh, Ashley, yeah, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name is Ashley Carlos. I'm the outreach social worker at Neighborhood Shops, Violence Intervention and Prevention Program.
Okay. Ilana, are you with us? You want to say hello? Unmute.
Yep. Okay. Ilana Dunner, Riverstone Senior Life Services Executive Director.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so because we don't have a speaker, as I mentioned before, scheduled for today, for those of you who are in the senior centers, if there are any updates, topics that should be shared collectively for us to be here reporting in on, I don't know if anyone wants to begin. It could be, it's not so exciting, month of February, but if anything from the month of February or anything lingering from previous meetings, and we had presentations last month related to COVID and seniors in our communities. So anything related to that anyone wants to share, or any of the meals? Yes, go ahead.
We're just still waiting for the update about the 181st/184th Street A-Train subway station. We haven't gotten any update from Transportation or Committee or anything. The concern is still that this tunnel is going to be closing access off to both the elevator and the subway from the 184th Overlook Station. And the other part of that is also that there's been no announcements and no postings. And, we hear through the grapevine that it's in a couple of weeks, and the silence is telling.
James, you're on Traffic and Transportation. Have you heard anything that you could share?
No, I just got on the committee just about a week ago, and I haven't been to a meeting yet. They swapped me over from land use. I'm not sure.
Gotcha. Ebenezer, are you still on with us? This is very important for our community. And you're saying specifically, Shuli, for seniors to be able to get to the center if they're coming from Fort Washington, it's almost impossible.
For seniors, it's impossible to get to the center from Fort Washington. It's impossible to get the ones that are on the other side to get up to Fort Washington. A lot of them have physical therapy up there. There's a major physical therapy office up there on Fort Washington. Those that do use the subway it's at least 0.4 to a half a mile to the closest alternate entrance to any A-Train location, whether they walk up to 181st Street in Fort Washington, whether they go down to 190th. It is I mapped it out on Google Maps. It's between 0.4 and 0.5 mile change to get to any subway if they do want to take the subway as well. So it is for my seniors, but it is for the community at large as well.
Of course. I'm trying to get Ebenezer's attention. Ebenezer, you're on mute. Are you hearing our meeting as well? Whoever is on from the office staff, that was Ebenezer before. Maybe he stepped away. This didn't come up on the community board meeting last night, or 2 nights ago, I should say. Richard, do you know anything about the A-Train and the 181st Street station closing down tunnels, elevators, wreaking a lot of havoc? You're on mute.
Would you go back 1 or 2 sentences? I just tuned in and I want to make sure that the answer.
Shuli raised the rumors that are going around that the 181st Street station, A-Train station and tunnel is going to be closed for a period of time, which means no access to the elevators as well, which is going to make things very complicated for people who depend upon that access to get to Fort Washington up and down.
I should also add one other point. Egress from that station is going to be further complicated because the escalators are not running on the 181st Street and Fort Washington side. So the only way to exit that station will be to Fort Washington from the elevators, but not from the other side of stairs. So there's no way to walk out onto the Bennett side.
I'm betting that Shuli and I have the same source of information here. Just guessing. I have heard that. My understanding is that the work is being done for 88. I'm probably going to run on for about 2 minutes here. That the work on the Overlook Terrace entrance is being done for ADA compliance, which makes sense to me. That entrance ramp is sloped more than it should be. In hearing about that, the first thing I heard was 4 months. In terms of there's work happening, construction work all over the station. And for those of us who use it, it's been, a difficult 6 months or so. What a piece of the other thing that may be of interest to this committee is that the escalators were promised for a February 28th reopening. They were promised initially, the 181st Street escalators. They were promised initially for a February reopening. Then that was tweaked to February 28th, and as of this morning, they're not open. I painfully go through that station every day. It's a particularly difficult moment because from mezzanine level to platform level, there are 3 or 4 stairways on both sides, and it's steadily been 2 or 3 stairways blocked off for construction. You know, I'm sure a year from now, we're all going to be happy about this, but all of this is being done without signage, without advance notice, without any realistic coordination. 2 things that I think would make sense for the community board. Shuli, help me with my memory here, but when there was a proposed closing 3 or 4 years ago, I think we ran a resolution saying that there needed to be some alternate transportation there. And I think we
Yes.
should revisit that resolution. But
It
what
was a hard
MTA
fight though, and the only thing that I'm concerned about is they gave us a shuttle, but if a shuttle comes only every like 50 minutes or so, it was, you know, they were telling us it was underutilized, but we were telling them that it wasn't regular enough to be utilized. It was pointless. So it was a chicken and egg scenario. And they're going to say,
Absolutely.
well, nobody used that shuttle. Well, nobody used that shuttle because it was not reliable.
Let me see how I can say this without sounding too much like I'm speaking with self-interest here. Let's just say targeted shuttles, smaller buses that would move in an appropriate way. Obviously, I come from an organization that has some of those buses and that kind of buses, and I don't think I'm the only one on this call for whom that could be said.
Okay.
I would think revisiting that resolution, updating it with information on what didn't work last time, plus doing on a separate track an inquiry to MTA about what's happening with the 181st Street escalators would be very appropriate. Both actions would be appropriate.
Is that a motion?
Um,
Do we want to check in with our?
If I can make a motion in that kind of general terms, yes. If you need something more precise, that takes a while.
Right. No, I'm wondering whether there is information out there that we just don't have access to. That if we had the information right now, we wouldn't be having the concerns that we have. I just don't know. In other words, to write a resolution without having any knowledge of what's going on the premise of we just don't know what's going on, so therefore
Let's
make these changes.
may I suggest a middle ground there? I think we can pass a resolution in intent here, get it fixed by the time of the executive committee meeting. But I think it'd also be appropriate for you to give Debbie Nabavian
I
a
was gonna
first
say.
call transportation. She's usually in the loop on that stuff.
You know what? Maybe I'm
And
going to
any
email her.
resolution we did really should be done jointly with transportation.
That's where I'm
Committee.
getting at as well.
I was looking on this is Maria, on the schedule for the meeting that was held on February 6th. I don't see anything, any reference on the agenda for that particular item. So I'm just looking also to see anything on
I'm
their
going to step away for just a sec.
all right, on their minutes, I can't find anything in reference to that. But maybe they did because I attended a meeting and I just don't remember anything in particular about that, closing on that
Okay.
area. We always have a problem there. This is this is a continuous problem on the tunnel, and also going back to the 191st Street subway for the A train. So I'll keep looking, but I just don't see anything in
Okay,
relation.
I'm going to email her now too, and then we'll see. Okay, so that's a very, very important topic, dear to many of us here. That's important that it was raised. Any other items for us to discuss? James, is that your hand?
Yeah, I'm sorry about the 181st Street
Yeah.
issue again. What is the date that the tunnel reconstruction is supposed to begin? Does anybody know that?
That's
No.
part of the confusion here. We don't really have
Okay.
much information.
Because we have a TNT meeting on Monday night, and I'll make sure that this is on the agenda. Yeah, so Debbie probably knows more about it than.
Yeah, I'll CC you as well. Okay.
Thank you.
Can I add a
Okay.
thought to-
Yeah,
I just took a minute to have a conversation with ARC's Executive Director, Dory Garcia. Obviously, organizationally, this is something where there may be an appropriate role. Though if we were to run shuttle, be involved in shuttle or any similar service, it would have to be senior focused, 60 years old and older.
okay.
This is the aging committee, so I'm sure that doesn't trouble people here.
All right. Okay. So let's, as this is an ongoing conversation, and I will try to get back as much information as we can. This is also not something we want to wait a month on to hear back from us, if they're planning on doing construction soon. So,
The dates we heard were definitely March dates, so.
Yeah.
Someone in
think
my
it-
office thinks it might have been March 23rd, but it's certainly March through May is what she heard. So we don't, and it's all rumor, so I don't want to say anything, but it was definitely March dates that were being bandied about for the start of the work, and a two month period of closure.
Yusuf,
yeah,
if you could, I know we have to be careful with what emails are sent to board members. But if between now and Monday night's Transportation Committee meeting, if you could send just an informational email, that's an update, and we won't get involved in any conversation, but that might be a signal over whether some of us needed to be at the Transportation Committee meeting or gather additional information for that meeting.
okay.
Also, this is extremely important area, not only just for seniors, for everybody. It's the activity, and we've been suffering for that location to be taken in serious considerations. We have been, for years. This is not just for a few months or anything like that. Years and years and years. It's the impact on that area is tremendous. So maybe this could be a little more urgent, and before it's going to take a few weeks or maybe months. This is outrageous. They should have put a lot of more information out there so we can prepare.
Of course. Okay. Anything else? That's very important. Thank you, Shuli, for that. Anything else? Anything?
I just wanted to add something to
Surely.
what Richard said. This is Lily. Just a quick comment. Besides seniors utilizing a shuttle services, I don't think it should be I know this is the aging committee, but can it also add people with disabilities? Because there's people who use walkers or wheelchairs, and being that if the rumor is that there's not going to be access to the elevator or the escalators, anyone that has a mobility impairment, whether it's 68 years old or under, is simply not accessible, and therefore they wouldn't be able to utilize that station.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else to add?
Not on my behalf, that's it.
Okay.
I'm gonna find out more information as well. I'm gonna ask the person that deals with transportation in my organization if she has heard anything about it, and then I'll let you know.
Okay.
Thank
Great.
you.
Okay. Any other centers, any other members here who have anything to share? Anything positive? Anything exciting going on? Maria always has exciting things going on.
No, we had a great event by the community board that's for the members of the community board, and also for the outsider, everybody that is interested in joining to be members of the board. That is the application. I see the deadline is now March 17 for those that want to reapply. But I mentioned that I wanted a small announcement as the president of the Police Council, the 33rd, which is located from 155th Street to 179th Street, river to river. We have a monthly meeting, and this month is Women Month, and we're going to be having a small celebration of life for our former, member, Iris Prentice. It's not going to be a big event, but we wanted to, to honor her. And I'm inviting people to come to the precinct on March 23rd at 6:30 p.m. Just to share a little, with our friendship and also happiness that Iris was such a great member of our community, and also, of course, the aging and the people with disability. So everyone is invited. I'm going to be preparing. The flyers are not finalized, but I just put it on the, hold the date. March.
You would have heard about her with this subway situation for sure.
I know.
Being on top of it. She'd know what date it was started.
Correct. And safety and, everything else. Especially the corridor for Washington. She was on top of the elevator, right. So anyway, it's going to be March 23rd, Thursday, 6:30 p.m. All right.
Thursday, March 23rd.
Right.
Where?
Oh.
Maria, where is it going to be?
At the 33rd Police Precinct is
At the precinct.
2207 Amsterdam Avenue and 170th Street.
Okay. Great. Ilana, were you about to say something before?
Yeah, I don't know if this is what you meant by opening it up, and I'm sorry, there's a lot of stuff going on here. I just wanted to remind people about our memory center that, since COVID, we were fully booked, so to speak, with in our memory center, which is a day program for people with memory loss due to Alzheimer's or other form of dementia. Prior to the pandemic, we had about 40 to 50 people here daily. Since the pandemic, of course, that has changed. And so I'm really just want to let people know that we have openings and that it's a wonderful program for a very devastating illness. And that we have openings, I don't know what else to say, but, certainly home care is essential for people with dementia, but the day program, as I'm probably talking to the choir here, the day program is unique. We have people who speak English and people who speak Spanish, and they're in separate groups. And that is a very unique part of our program, unlike other places. I think they mix people with different languages. And so you can imagine if you have memory loss already, and then you're put together with somebody who doesn't speak your language, you're not doing very well. So, please, if you have people who are in need of this kind of service, give me a call. Certainly caregivers, the way I think about this illness is once you sort of no longer know that you have memory loss, you might be okay. It's not devastating to you anymore, usually, although people do get anxious.
What contact, what should they call? Is there a number?
Call me, just because.
What's the number? 212?
212-927-5600. And of course, caregivers, even if if their loved one does not attend the program, they are welcome to contact me as well. And we have support groups, we have supportive counseling, so it's really a holistic program for people who have the memory loss, and then people who are caring for somebody who has memory loss, which is a, you know, a very hard journey to do by yourself. Okay, that's it.
Thank you. I wonder, are you advertising, you know, in the community? Should we be sharing this on the community board? It's a wonderful service.
I
Yeah.
would love to share it on the community board. We're just starting to go out more. How would I do that?
Maria, what would be the best way? We're not meeting in person still, like flyers don't really do. Ebenezer, are you on still?
For my, I will, you know, I will add it at the calendar for community board.
Yes, I'm sorry, Ebenezer is away. You're here with me, Paola. Hi, everyone. You can just send,
We're happy to have you, Paola.
yes, I'm gonna sit in for a little bit, but you can just email the stuff to us, all the 3 staff members, and we'll send it out for you guys.
Okay, tell me who to send it to.
You can take down my email, so.
Or just put it in the
Yes, and
chat.
Peter.
Either
I'll put
way,
it in the chat for you guys.
I actually had sent Ebenezer an email yesterday, the day before, if I could present, you know, 5 minutes at one of the meetings, even if it's Zoom, and I would be happy to do that.
Okay, I'll have him follow up, or I will follow up with you, no problem.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
But this could be added to the health committee also. Steve Simon is the chair of that committee, because that's really important. I don't know when is the next committee meeting of the health committee, Paola?
The next committee meeting is actually tonight, but they have a joint meeting with housing, so maybe when she sends in the information, I could forward it to him so he can calendar it for her, whether it's next month or wherever he feels fit on his agenda. I'll send it to him.
Okay.
Okay, and Paula, I'm gonna send you material. Okay, and then we could talk of how best to circulate this
Sure.
information.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Great. Anything else? That's very good. Good a topic you wanted to share for us to know and the other senior centers to know and for us to get the word out.
I have an
Go ahead.
announcement. Thank you. Just to make an announcement, we're doing a program on National Vietnam Veterans Day, a virtual program called Vet to Vet. It's a quarterly thing that we do, but this year marks the 50th anniversary of National Vietnam Veterans Day. So we're featuring, we're still working on getting someone from the VFW to join us, because there's some interesting history there that a lot of Vietnam veterans weren't allowed to join the organization when they first returned, because some locations didn't consider them to be vets of a foreign war, interestingly. Took an act of Congress to change that policy. And also there's 1,700 New Yorkers that lost their lives, or over 1,700. So we're featuring Marlene Levi, who worked with one of the legendary people in New York who helped the Veterans Day parade grow in size. His name was Pat Galateri. So that will be on November 29th, March 29th. And you're certainly all welcome to join us. And other good news, we had a proposal with the Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum to have a workshop for the upcoming New York City Museum of Educators Roundtable Conference, and it was accepted. So we're going to be presenting at the conference on May 15th about talking about history that isn't in the museum for LGBTQ plus vets. Because at the time the Intrepid was underway, there was nobody openly serving who was LGBTQ plus. And when I was with SAGE, I worked with them a lot to try to address that history. So they very cleverly have been talking about that history that doesn't exist. But it does exist, of course. So that's sort of what the workshop is going to be about, is how other museums can sort of address shortcomings in their collections and archives that haven't been brought to the forefront from different groups who were part of that history. So just wanted to share that. Thanks for the opportunity.
That's May 15th.
Yes, May 15th.
And the first program, what day is National Vietnam Veteran Day?
March 29th.
March 29th. Okay.
There's a larger citywide event being organized by the United War Veterans Council on Saturday, March 25th, and they're going to be reading the names of the fallen. MJHS is sponsoring that. I'll be there sharing resources later in the day, but also be one of the people reading 50 of the names of New Yorkers who lost their lives.
Okay. Great. That is helpful. Anyone have anything else to share?
Hi, yourself, it's Verna. I had my hand up, but I'm
Oh,
because I
okay,
need
great.
to unmute so you can see.
Yeah,
our-
yeah, go ahead, just go for it.
Yeah, I just want the Older Adult Center directors or representatives on this meeting to be aware that our program office department and the government affairs department, this is a new what should I say, program, so to speak, lack of a better term, that we meet on a monthly basis to address issues that's affecting the older adults in the centers. So I'm asking the representatives here from those centers on this meeting, if you have any issues or any concerns that you wanted to be addressed, or you're working on it and they haven't done in a timely fashion, to please reach out to me and let me know, because what I do, I usually get that information and we share it in the meeting and get responses almost immediately. I know Richard had an issue, but that was totally out of our purview with regard to the fire department. But feel free to let me know any issues as they relate to the older adult centers. Send me the information and I would relate in the meeting and we will take it from there. Thank you.
Great.
I have another happy announcement. The Arts 16th Center is going to be officially reopened. I don't see Doris here. Officially open on 184th Street on March 17. That's St. Patrick's Day, from 11 o'clock in the morning to maybe 2 or 3 in the afternoon. It's a donation of $10 per person because it's going to have music and food and everything else. So the center is located on 181st Street. Now the address. Richard, what is the number of the building? Maybe you remember. But anyway, it's right by the
post office.
Right, by the post office across the street from the fire department, next to the Esperanza Center. Also close to that new hotel with old colors. It looks like a Lego, building and things like that. So, but the number is 5. Okay, it's 516.
Can I step in for a sec?
Yes.
Entrance is now happening from the Audubon side. So the address that's being used on the flyers is 309 Audubon.
Oh,
Again,
okay.
that's very close to the corner of 181st Street. Maria, if I can add one thing, I believe there's a ribbon cutting ceremony going from 10:30 to 11 o'clock, and then the party starts at 11.
Oh, okay. All right.
And Dory sends her best. She's in a training this morning. She's about 20 feet away, so it's pretty easy to communicate a message if we need to.
Okay, so 10:30 in the morning. I was gonna get there late. So, all right.
Let me see if I can get a flyer to
Yeah, you should get that.
let me see if I can get it into chat. I'm a little low tech for doing that, but let me try.
Click on the document thing.
I gotta find the flyer first.
Yeah, it's not so easy to do. I agree with you. Okay, great. That's great. That's happy news. Okay, we don't have to laboriously pull people's teeth. Ashley, were you about to say something, or?
Yes, I did wanted to say thank you. So Neighborhood Shops Elder Justice Program will be hosting a workshop on elder abuse. We're going to host one virtual every month leading up to June, which June is World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. So I will send out the flyer to share with all of you. Hopefully you guys can join. It's open to the public.
Thank you. Okay. So I think we gave ample time for people to share things. Absent of a speaker, just a few announcements for us, and then we can all have a little bit longer lunch. Next meeting.
Breakfast.
What?
Breakfast.
I wasn't sure which one to say. It depends what time you wake up. Next meeting is not going to be the first Thursday in April because that's the first day of Passover on the 6th. We are going to be a little bit earlier and be on the 4th, on Tuesday, April 4th. So please mark your calendars if you plan on coming, and usually come to our meetings. Just adjust your recurring meeting time to not the first Thursday of next month, but Tuesday, the 4th. And we have a speaker, as you see here in the notes, Iman Rimawi. He's the new executive director of Harlem Independent Living Center. Will make a presentation to us that Mary has arranged. I believe Mary is still away though, that meeting. She's back.
She gets back like the last couple days of March.
Okay. So hopefully she will be with us then. And as we kind of did a little bit of the old business, new business in our conversations as well with announcements. Yes, Richard?
I tried to put the flyer into the chat. I didn't get the
Didn't work.
flyer, but I got the information if people want the
Sure.
information.
Sure, you want to announce? Sure, go ahead.
It's there. It just got sent in chat.
Oh,
Oh, wait a second. Did people get that or not? Did it come through?
you could send it to the office and, they could send it to us as well, but we have the 17th, we will all try to be there.
Let's see
Oh,
if
here
that-
it is. That went through now. Okay.
It's lots of text. It's on a pretty flyer, but I couldn't quite get the
Yeah.
flyer.
Okay. Okay. I got it. Okay. You got the address there for Maria. She knows where to go.
Richard, you have elected officials attending that event?
Yeah, I'm working on getting the information out on that. Can I?
Okay.
Especially since they donated some
That's
money.
actually my
for-
task, Verna. So if I missed someone, I've got a hunch I just missed someone.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, I was gonna add that, some of the elected officials donated money to do a very nice, kitchen for the senior centers. We are very excited about that because now the food is being sent to, to the center. Now it's gonna be cooked there, prepared there, anyway. So this is good.
Yeah. And let's not forget the acknowledgements there to the New York City Aging Department. It's a big acknowledgement, and
Yeah.
Now.
better hope you're going to be there, Verna.
Well, I'm just hearing about it, so I'm gonna inquire a little more.
Right.
I'll see that you get good information.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay. Unless there's anything else to share for now, I'll make a motion to.
What is the presentation about on the 4th?
The 4th, which presentation are you referring to?
The presentation from the Harlem Independent Living Center?
Oh,
Iman?
yeah, so I guess I don't know more than what I was sent. I guess it's about what they're contributing to the community. But I don't know, anyone else know more than that? You know more, Richard, yeah?
I don't know what was set up for that program specifically, but I know one of the issues that Iman Rimawi Daster has been carrying is problems with accessoride. She's been one of the people organizing around those issues. Whether she presents on that day or not, I'm not sure, but it's certainly questions that could be directed to her.
Okay, I appreciate that.
I think she had maybe previously been with New York Lawyers for Public Interest.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Part of it is to leave you hanging, so you show up and you hear what the presentation is.
I'm not
Well.
sure it works that way, but okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll make an motion for us to adjourn now.
So
Anyone want a
moved.
second? James, you'll second, okay. And wish everyone a wonderful day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye, everybody. Have a good day.